I got my wish for making my legs tired and sore from yesterday. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Streetball Strategies. Yesterday, if you guys saw the video from last week, I spent the day on the courts working on my ball handling and agility, with the goal being to not only see where I was in those departments of my game, but to also intentionally fatigue my legs so that I could come back out to the court today and experience what it was like to be on the court and try to perform while my body is tired and or sore. And boy, did I accomplish that. Let me tell you, I woke up this morning and my legs were sore and they were tired, and that's fine. I expected that. It's no big deal. It happens all the time. What I didn't expect is that I feel weak. My body feels weak, and that's not an optimal condition to be in. Thankfully, there's nobody out here and I'm not competing against anybody today or in 2020 in general, but usually when you feel weak, that's not a good condition to show up to the court in. You don't want to be on the court feeling weak, especially if it directly correlates to you playing weak. When you're out here competing, whether it's with people or against people, they don't care that your body's tired. They don't care that you're sore. They don't care that you're fatigued. They don't care that you played all day yesterday as hard as you could. They don't care that you feel weak. All they care about is if you're on their team, can you help them win? Or if they're playing against you, can they beat you? That's all they care about. And that's all they should care about, wins and losses. You should be trying to win regardless of who you're playing against, regardless of their conditioning. When you are weak, when you are tired, when you are sore, that can impact your legacy negatively. And so you want to avoid at least appearing tired and weak and fatigued and sore as much as you possibly can. So let's talk about how to deal with being tired and sore and maybe even feeling weak when you're on the court in competition. After I take a nap.
Let's go. Yeah. Mayday, yelling Mayday. Everybody better vacate from the gateway. 100 rounds on the freight train.
So why would you want to do this? Why would you intentionally come out here being tired and sore? Well, it's because for the same reason you practice anything else. It's for the experience. You should know and need to know what it's like to come out here when you're tired, when you're sore, when your body's not going to perform the way you're used to. Inevitably, you're going to come out here and be competing when you're sore and tired and you're not as strong, you don't feel as strong as you normally do. The longer your career is, and especially the more you age, you're going to deal with having to come out here being tired or sore, and that's just the way the game is played. There are going to be times when inevitably you're going to find yourself out here, you're going to be sore, you're going to be tired, and you're going to need to try to compensate for that. And the more experience you have, the more practice you have, and the more experience you have, the more practice you have at playing under the condition of being sore, being tired, the better you're going to be able to come out here and perform on the court and not have that negatively impact your legacy as much, because you'll know how to deal with it. I've never really practiced that combo of moves before. I'm not much of a step back guy, but it illustrates what I want to talk about, which is how do you deal with being sore, being tired, moving slower than usual. So when you find yourself in a weakened condition like this on the court, the good thing about it is it trains you to become more of a psychological and mental basketball player. Because even though under normal circumstances, when you're on the court, you're thinking ahead and planning ahead as much as you can, but when you're in a weakened state as being fatigued or sore, it becomes even more important to think about what you want to do, what you need to do, what you're trying to do ahead of time, and plan for it while you're in motion on the court. And because of that, you're going to have to be in the moment. You're really going to have to pay attention to the move while you're doing it. Not only do you have to plan ahead so that you can make the move the way you want to make it, but once you're in the moment of making the move, now you have to concentrate in that moment to really sell it properly, because not only is it not going to be automatic as it normally would, but because it's slower, right, you have to really think about how you're selling it, how you're using it, because the people that are defending you can see that you're tired if you move that way. If you sort of just automatically jab step like you're tired, your defender is going to see that and he's not going to buy it. He's not going to fall for that jab step. He's not going to come with you as you jab in that direction because he can see that you're tired, so he's not worried about that jab step. So you really have to think about it. You really have to be aware of what you're doing so that you really sell it. And really selling it when you're tired is really going to require your body to put out even more effort than it normally would, and you have to be careful about how you do that. So if I'm here, right, I receive the ball, I'm in my spot to make my move. Number one, I planned to get here. I had to plan ahead to get into this position because it didn't just come naturally as it usually would because I'm tired. Now that I'm here and I am about to make my move, instead of it just coming naturally and automatically like it normally would, now I have to think about the process as I'm going through it, because if I allow my body to go into an automatic pattern like it normally would, the chances are that my defender is going to read me as being tired because I am. So if I just put a half-hearted jab step at him, right, it's kind of slow, it's kind of tired, he's not going to buy it. To avoid that, once you're here and you're in the midst of making your move, you really have to be cognizant of what you're doing. You really have to think about and concentrate on selling that move. But just know that when you're doing that, you're really going to have to put even more effort than normal into selling those moves. And when you're doing that, it's going to tax your body even more than it normally would. That's just kind of the cost of playing ball and competing when you're tired. It's going to be even more draining on you than it was on the previous day. Secondly, the good thing about coming out here and playing while you're tired and sore and slow is that it'll force you to have to depend on your teammates more than you normally probably would. You become a better teammate for doing that, and secondly, hopefully it teaches you how to become a leader. It will hopefully help to instill leadership qualities in you, because once you step back and figure out other ways for your team to win other than you just scoring all the time, when you take a step back and find ways to make your teammates better because you're sore and you're tired and you're fatigued and you're just not performing physically the way you're used to, or if they're used to playing with you the way that they're used to you playing, now you have to depend on them to hold up the physical end of winning a game when you're tired and sore and not being able to perform physically the way you're normally able to do. But even if you're newer, if you're at the beginning of your legacy and you're not used to being the main scorer or the main reason your team wins a game, if you're just at the beginning, if you're still learning how to become that person, you're still developing those skills and those abilities, when you come out here and you're tired and you're sore, you can't push yourself from that physical standpoint. So you have to take a step back, lean on your teammates, and figure out how you can contribute to them being more physical, them using their physical strengths when you don't have them. And when you do that, you're able to understand the game, understand your teammates, understand your opponents in ways that you would have not done had you just been at 100% physically and going as hard as you could on the court.
Let's go! Yeah. Mayday, yelling Mayday. Everybody better vacate from the gateway. 100 rounds on the freight train. That's the wavelength. From the bottom where we ate pain for the weight gain.
So that's all I got for you guys today. Literally, I'm out of gas. But I am glad that I did this because, as I've said before, I'm 10 years retired from active competition. I'm going to try to make a temporary comeback next spring and summer, and I expect my body to be sore and tired a lot in the process of making that temporary comeback. And so getting used to how to deal with this is something that I'm going to have to put a lot of thought into. And just in today, I've noticed a lot of stuff that I have to work on, timing and balance, and I have to slow down. I have to force myself to slow down. There's a lot of stuff that I have to slow down and to practice, and I'm glad that I took the time to learn that before I try to come out on the court next spring and start competing, end up being sore and tired, and then not really having a grip on how to deal with it. So thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. We have a few more good days of weather in November in 2020, and I'm going to try to get as many videos done between now and when the good weather ends. So make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified of those videos, and I will see you guys next week.
Psycho and a rival. I don't even know what I'm liable. Better ride close to the side though with a tight hold on the Bible. Red line, I'm in drive mode when I'm locked and loaded in my zone. No freezing, I blow diesel, I'm